No, a house doesn't become a home all at once. It usually happens one small little comfort at a time. You know, when people think about making a house feel like a home, they usually jump to buying new furniture, painting, renovating, tearing down walls, that kind of thing, right? If I'm being honest, the things that make my house feel like a home cost me very little. And one of the biggest things for me is lighting. I have never liked harsh overhead lighting. When I was younger, my stepfather would drink and then want to argue with my mom, and he would make me and my mom sit at the kitchen table, and he would just argue with her for hours. And there was a big light right there. And it was just, I always felt like I was in an interrogation room. And I always have hated harsh overhead lighting. There was nothing comforting about it. So in my home, actually in my house right now, I don't even have overhead lighting. As you can see in my living room or my dining room area. Now, in my kitchen, I do have overhead light, but I very rarely use it. I prefer warm light, soft light. That lighting that makes you feel like when you walk into the room, you just automatically want to kick your shoes off and get comfortable. As you can see back there, I kind of keep lamps. Over here, you can see some lamp light. Um, that's my jam. And speaking of childhood memories, one of my favorite memories is sometimes I would fall asleep on the living room couch at my mom's house. And she always had a soft lamp lit in the living room. That was when it felt like home, if that makes sense. Sometimes I would wake up to it being peaceful like that. And then other times I would wake up to arguing, if I'm being totally honest. I think I've spent my adult life trying to recreate that peaceful feeling that I felt. Yeah. Something else you'll notice if you was to walk through my house, I have blankets everywhere. I mean, you can actually see probably on my couch right there is a blanket. And then back here, behind me, I don't know if you can see that, on my ottoman, I think this part of my chair might be blocking it. But like right there is a blanket. I love them. I have a blanket, yeah, my armchair in my office. I have a blanket draped over the rocking chair in my office, as well as my desk chair in my office. In my bedroom, I have a blanket. I have like a little seating area in my bedroom. I also have a blanket draped over the blue barrel chair that sits there. I want a person to always feel like they can come in my house, kick off their shoes, get comfy, throw a blanket over you, and take a nap if that's what you need to do. I love a good, comfy, soft chair. I love pillows. As you can again see, there are pillows everywhere. About five on my couch. I also have my big orange chair. It actually came with pillows for the sides and then a pillow for the back. But then I also added a little pillow that has mushrooms on it because it's kind of a theme in my house. So, but again, I just want anyone that is coming to my house to visit to feel very comfortable. I also have a lot of greenery in my house, which I mean, you can see just a little bit here and there. There's some back there. I also have some over here, um, back there. But I'm going to be completely honest with you. A lot of it is fake. And that's not because I don't love real greenery. I do have a few items. I have a large plant that sits right here at my entrance. And then I have a smaller plant that sits beside it. And then in my bedroom, I also have one real plant, but I have just some fake greenery around because it makes my house feel, because I don't have a green thumb. I really don't. Funny thing is, people will compliment my plants all the time. I always just say, thank you, thank you, because it is beautiful. Probably because it's fake and I didn't kill it. On occasion, I may get a little sassy and go, it's very low maintenance. But that's just the Aunt Susie in me. If you know, you know. But on a more serious note, um, one of the big things I feel that makes my house feel more like a home to me is some of the routines that I stand by. Like the first thing in the morning when I get out of bed, I make my bed. It's just a very simple task, and it makes me feel like I've already started getting things kind of in order for the day, if that makes sense. So, making my bed, top priority. And don't get me wrong, that's not because, I think my house needs to be perfect or I'm expecting visitors to come and inspect every area of my home. It just helps me. Then I start my coffee. And after I start my coffee, I open my curtains in my kitchen area, in my dining room area, back here. Open the curtains. I let the sunlight in. Now that I've got new windows, I can actually open my window and let some fresh air in, which is freaking amazing. I'm so grateful. I had the old windows, original windows to the house, just until about 2 weeks ago, and I got new windows. The old windows did not open. So it's great to be able to finally open the windows over here and let some air in. Always open my kitchen window and let fresh air in. I think it's needed daily in your home, just to freshen it up and let the light in. While my coffee is percolating, I usually will wipe the counters down, straighten up my kitchen if it needs it. Most times it's already done in the evening, but in the rare chance that I may have went to bed and left it, then I will go ahead and straighten that up while my coffee's brewing. And see, the great thing about just doing those few little things, it's nothing major. It doesn't take very long. It doesn't take very much energy, but just that fast, my house, my morning feels a little more put together, and I thrive with that. I don't think a peaceful home has to come from some big thing. And I don't think it has to do with a spotless house at all, honestly. I think it's more about the little routines that make our house feel like our space. Those little small routines and habits train your brain to think, this is a safe space, this is home, I can breathe, I can relax, it's comforting here. And that's what I strive for in my home. The older I've gotten, the more I realize that having a peaceful home is not about impressing people, not in the least. It's more about having a place that you can exhale and you can be comfortable. It's about having a place where your nervous system can finally relax. So if you're trying to make your house feel more like home, don't start with what can I buy? I would start by asking myself, what is one small routine that I can start doing every day that brings me more peace and therefore makes my home feel more peaceful? Because sometimes the things that make the biggest difference literally cost $0. And as always, if today's conversation resonated with you, I've written a whole article over on my website at ThatsSoAuntSusie.com about ways to make your home feel more peaceful. And if this conversation has encouraged you or reminded you that peace is sometimes found in the smallest of things, I would love for you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next call. And hey, I would love to hear from you. Tell me, what's one small thing that you've done that's made your house feel more peaceful and didn't cost a fortune? Call me in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Around here, I simply share what I've lived, what I've learned, and what I hope will help somebody else on their journey. And listen, if you're struggling today, pull up a chair. We'll figure it out together.